Welcome to Hearts Standard, still in Bruges, a bit deflated. We're going to quickly recap the game, just a wee bit of an in and out here. We've had two different perspectives on the game. I was in the away end, watching as a fan. Joel's there as a
professional capacity.
Professional capacity. We've not talked about the game at all.
No.
So
I'll
be interested to see what our perspectives are. But yeah, just before we go into sort of details about the game, what were your general impressions?
Probably frustration. I thought the first half, so we've talked a lot about the first half being... do you need me to move?
I was going to try and get the stadium in the background. I thought we probably should have done this before we started.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's late.
So I thought we've talked so often about the first half performance. He's been really positive, and then the second half drop off. It was slightly the other way around. I thought the first half was a dreadful game of football. Both sides were really poor. I think Hearts were just more poor, and then second half, I think Miro Muslic, the Cercle Brugge coach, talked about it. He took off their centre back. I thought it was really good. Christian Ravic, I think his name is, and that combined with Spittle come on for Danda, I think that gave gave Hearts a bit of confidence on both ends. Created and both chances created good chances, good opportunities, good openings. Whether it was poor finishing, both Vargas and Shankland had 5 efforts each. Whether it was poor decision making, and
there was definitely poor finishing in there. I mean, even penalty aside, which we'll come to, there was poor finishing in there.
Absolutely, there was a lot of fake in it. There was a lot of poor, not kind of. There was poor finishing, and it's cost Hearts. Performance-wise, I don't think it was a good performance. I think it was certainly first half was probably one of Critchley's worst 45 minutes spell. But at the same time, I don't want to say it's a missed opportunity, because we just keep saying that again and again. Yet we created good chances despite not playing well, but it's reared its head again. We are not taking those chances.
To go back to the team selection, maybe kind of plays into what you're saying a little bit there, and something that I said at half time was we just didn't have any control in that first half.
Yes.
Now, I understand why Beningame and Spittle haven't been picked. Beningame, we know, can only play a certain amount of games and that kind of thing, like 3 games in a week. It seems to be. Sometimes it seems to struggle to start 3 games in a week. Spittle, that's the first time that he's not started a game since Critchley came in. Sometimes it just becomes a time where that has to happen. 2 your better ball players there, and Hearts just lacked control in that first half. I didn't think Boateng or Devlin were necessarily had poor performances. No.
I think they did.
Devlin was good in the first half.
They did. They had positives, but I do think one of the things
until he was punted by Riles.
I know, he was killed, but I was sending off a fence. I did think, especially the first half, we didn't have a sustained period of possession.
That's it. Couple of chances.
Yeah, it just kept going back and forth, and that allowed Cercle just to keep putting the pressure on, and that's what they want to do. They just want to basically keep recycling the ball and put it on top of you. So Benny would have helped with that, but like you said, I understand it. Spittle, I asked Critchley about Spittle and Danda. He said freshness and slightly tactical. He wanted, but the way he described the tactical element of it, Spittle could have done that job. He wanted Danda to come in inside, open up the space for Penrice, just the way their wing backs play. And he said it kind of worked a couple of times. But over the piece, I just thought Danda was poor, to be honest.
He didn't get into the game.
Not the way that Spittle inserts himself in the game. In and out of possession, you see it. We've talked about what his pressing's like without the ball. Danda, from the very first few minutes, or like the opening stages, he would get the ball and he'd almost be hesitant what to do, and then he'd maybe go for the safe option rather than seeing the space, taking it, or playing the forward pass and then going to supporting. So yeah, I thought he had a frustrating performance, considering the glimpses to shown of talent, how he was quite hyped up in this the summer when he arrived, but he's not really done it under Critchley at the moment.
Yeah, the Spittle one, it must be that was my thoughts. It's either saving him for Sunday, or it's players can only play so much football, and they get to a point where they need a rest. And he's not the type of player that he subs off very often either. He'll start on the left, and then if we're behind in matches, he'll move to one of the central midfield positions instead of one of the holders. Exactly. So he does play a lot of football under Critchley, so I can understand him dropping out. But yeah, as I said, I think Hearts suffered as a consequence. Second half, from my perspective, Hearts did come back into it, yes, and they were a lot better in the second half. But I felt that that was an important win for Cercle in terms of progression in this tournament.
Yeah.
They've not had a good start. It's one of their winnable home games, and I think they sort of tried to protect their lead a bit in that second half. Hearts, I mean, I'm not saying that Hearts don't deserve any praise or anything like that, but I think part of the reason was they were happy to sit in and defend what they had.
I thought, yes, that, and also I thought they ran out of legs. I thought the way they play, they leave a lot of space, and then it means like...
Sorry about all the noise. We're trying to do a wee quick one in and out, and it was probably picking up some bad noise. Sorry, Joe.
No, it was just I thought they ran out of legs, and they kind of toiled. They dropped deeper, and probably part of that was to protect it and kind of close the space, but they still allowed a lot of space down. Not allowed a lot of space down the flanks, but they struggled to, especially Penrice, motor them, and they just seemed to run out of kind of legs to catch that, and then they got. They always posed a threat on the break. Paris, I think it's Paris Brunner, only 18, so he was one of 8 changes from Cercle. I didn't realise it was extensive as that. He could have scored 2 or 3 on the break, or he certainly had good opportunities on the break, and they still posed that threat. And I think that the missed penalty gave them a kind of kick up the arse, and it deflated Hearts.
Let's talk about it now. I mean, we seem to be doing this after every game now. We don't want to be talking about Shankland in this way, but yeah, I mean, I just don't know where he goes from here now. I mean, I've defended him. I wouldn't say I'm like totally it's a lost cause or anything. I'm not saying like I'm completely done with him. I mean, some of the Hearts fans were after that penalty, but to not hit the target, he's basically been given a tap-in, for want of a better phrase. And he's not even hit the target with it. And I honestly, I just don't know where he goes from here. And I'm not having a go at him for just heading straight up the tunnel at the end, but that didn't go down well in the away end either.
On that, he couldn't win.
I understand, because they'd be telling him to... call him all the names under the sun.
He basically had to go across then to be told to go back to the tunnel.
Yes,
I understand why I think he was. Critchley basically essentially said he was devastated, so he gave him his own space. Didn't really speak to him. I got a lot of time for Shankland, but beyond the penalty, I thought it was poor. Just in general, again, it was
a bit unlucky with that chance in the first half.
It's a
really good, low percentage kind of effort, isn't it? The way he kind of takes it.
And he was, what would you call it? Improvised. And something he did.
If it goes in, it's a beauty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vargas did well there as well.
Yeah, that was probably the best move of the match, but. Shankland, it was just one of those other performances where he didn't get a handle on the centre backs. I think it was Ravich, the young centre back. Like, he got the better of him. He played them really aggressively. He just stepped in front, and Shankland's just still not. I just don't feel he's using his body the same way as in the last couple of seasons.
It's totally in his head. It's just totally in his head now, and I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. We've been trying to think of what the solution is for months, it feels now, and I mean, I'm not trying to take any blame away from Shankland here, but he's definitely, part of it's him being put in a situation where there's just no one else to play instead. Yeah,
absolutely. I asked Critchley about that, so if he's still being relied, essentially was asking the question, was like, do you think the club made a mistake in not signing a striker? Because if I worded it like that, I don't think he would have answered. But essentially, was over reliant on Shankland, and the answer is yes. I think he needs time out of the team.
He should have been dropped before now, and like we've said before, I mean, sometimes that just happens. It's just sometimes every player will just need a week out the team and then come on as a sub, or, you know what I mean? It happens. Like, players get jaded, or they get in their head and a mental space that they're struggling to finish easy chances and things like that. So I don't know. You'll be the better one to tell, because it was something hard to. I obviously heard the Shankland chance, but it seemed that even kind of before then there was both frustration towards Shankland, frustration towards Vargas. I'm still wondering whether that's different groups of people though, because it seems on Twitter that there's some that are for Shankland and can't go Vargas, and then you get the inverse from other people. There was both. Vargas was getting it in the neck before Shankland was. But that was because he was missing chances before Shankland missed that penalty. And that's it. I think it's just growing frustration of the two forwards who scored the most goals last season.
and both have spoken about their future recently, and then not scoring goals. It's just a combination of things, and it's just added to growing frustration amongst fans. That again, losing a big game, it's not going their way. Obviously, a lot of drink involved as well, and yeah, I wasn't surprised how things unfolded.
Well, on to Aberdeen now. We're going to head back to Edinburgh tomorrow, and then prepare for Aberdeen at home on Sunday.
Come on,
I know.
Come on.
I know. That's a really big one. I was going to say now. I don't think the result tonight really affects it, but yeah, given the situation in the league, it's a really big one. Please check out everything at heartstandard.co.uk. Plenty of reaction from this game. And
I should say, I probably should have, like we'd asked to start every video with this, but we've got a Black Friday offer of £12.
Well remembered.
Yes, £12 for 12 months. It runs until Tuesday. So if you've subscribed, thank you. If you've not, please consider it. It allows us to continue doing stuff like the free content we're doing with the YouTube and podcasts, and also all the written stuff. It allows us to come out here as well to Bruges, and then you're going to Copenhagen, and then hopefully in the new year we'll get to go to a couple of European trips. But yeah, please check that out.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, subscribe. If you're not going to subscribe to Heart Standard, just subscribe to this, and that'll help us as well. I don't know where I was on my outro. We'll go. Sorry for the shakiness. Sorry for the noise. It was just, as I say, just a quick one and done, because it's well after the game now. We need to go. See you all later.
Bye bye.